Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovery Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today I'm going to be telling you about puppets. A puppet is a figure that is moved by a person, usually for a performance of some kind. The figure can be a person, an animal, an object, or even a made-up creature. People throughout the world use puppets to entertain each other, to celebrate holidays, and to teach lessons. People who handle puppets are called puppeteers. No one knows exactly when people began making and using puppets, but historians think it was before other forms of theater developed. The writings from people from ancient Greece from 2,400 years ago mention puppet shows. There is also evidence that puppets existed in ancient China, India, and other parts of Asia. That's shocking. Puppet shows may have started out as part of religious ceremonies. They eventually became popular shows for everyday audiences in Europe and in Asia, though some puppet shows are still based on stories in the Bible or the religious texts of Hinduism. Other shows tell stories of legends and heroes. In the 1600s in Italy, a character named Consilia became popular. As Italian puppeteers traveled throughout Europe, each culture adopted their own character for its own. In the 1700s and 1800s, some puppet theaters began to act out stories from literature. The bunraku plays in Japan started in the 1600s, but most famous plays were written in the 1700s. It was also in the 1700s that serious writers began to write plays for puppet theaters in Europe, in England, and the United States. Traveling marionette theaters presented plays based on books in the 1800s. In Europe, the art puppet movements was continued into the 1900s by writers and artists in Germany, France, England, and the United States, and elsewhere. In the 1900s, however, more and more people came to see puppets as an entertainment for children. Several television shows and movies made for children helped create this idea. But at the same time, puppets remain popular with all ages. Puppets are usually used to entertain people. They can be used to act out religious story during a festival or just to tell an amusing story. People have enjoyed puppet shows for hundreds of years, but because they are so entertaining, puppets also are used to teach. For example, the United Nations Children's Fund sometimes uses puppets to teach people about how to avoid certain diseases. Doctors can also use puppets to get children to tell them about certain problems that the children do not want to talk about otherwise. Both children and adults can enjoy puppets. In the United States, a puppeteer named Jim Henson created a form of puppet called Muppets to teach children and entertain them at the same time. They appear on a children's television show called Sesame Street. His Muppets were so popular that he created other television shows and movies that children and adults could both enjoy. While many puppet shows are for a popular audience, others are seen as serious entertainment. Major writers, poets, artists have written plays for puppet theater or designed puppets. In Japan, a form of puppet theater is called bunraku. It's a serious art form that is performed for adults. Punch and Judy is a traditional puppet show that originated in England in the 17th century. The show features a cast of colorful characters including Punch, his wife, Judy, and various comical figures. Punch and Judy shows are known for their humor, slapstick antics, and their interaction with the audience. Puppets can take many different forms. The simplest are finger puppets. A piece of cloth or plastic, or even just some ink can turn a finger or a thumb into a character. Most other forms of puppets are slightly more complicated. A hand puppet has a hollow body that fits over the puppeteer's hand. The head and arms of the puppets can be moved by the puppeteer's fingers. Rod puppets are moved from below, but they are full length. They are supported by a rod running inside the body for the head. Marionettes or string puppets are operated from above. The full-length puppets hang from strings or threads that the puppeteer can use to control the puppet's movements. These are the most complicated kinds of puppets to handle. Another type of puppet that is operated with strings or rods is a shadow puppet. This type is common in Indonesia and several other Asian countries. Most puppets are operated using strings or rods. These are also stringless puppets that rely on other mechanisms. Some puppets use mechanisms like levers, gears, or even air pressure to create movement. These innovative designs allow puppeteers to achieve unique and unexpected actions. Puppetry is not limited to entertainment. It is also used as a therapeutic tool. Puppetry can help individuals express themselves, develop social skills, explore emotions. Therapeutic puppetry is often used in settings such as hospitals, schools, counseling sessions to facilitate communication and personal growth. Puppetry festivals bring puppeteers from around the world to showcase their talent and creativity. These festivals celebrate the art of puppetry through performances, workshops, exhibitions. The International Puppetry Festival, Belleville, Mazares, France, and the World Puppet Theater Festival in Prague, Czech Republic are renowned events that attract puppetry enthusiasts globally. Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids. Yeah! That's a puppet on a whiskey.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
Yeah!